Hey, would anybody like to see me act like a fucking idiot right now and rant about the Seminoles? Well, you're in luck, because I'm about to do it. Let's talk about this game that just fucking ended. Now, I'm going to hop around different shit, because I didn't write anything down. I didn't want this to seem contrived. But here comes my little rant. Where do I begin? First of all, the defense. I'm not even going to talk about the defense, honestly. We already know Kelly needs to get the fuck on. So does Bill Miller. It's a joke. We have a buffoon running the defense. That said, I will say the defense did enough to win this game. Did it break its fucking back in a crucial moment and allowed Louisville to just easily scamper down the field after the Blackman fumble? Yes. Okay, but that's not what I'm going to bitch about. We already know about the defense and how it's being run by a fucking clown named Charles Kelly. Here's what I'm going to bitch about. And that's Jimbo. Number one, you're the fuckstick that let all these coaches stay. We already know that Kelly, Dawsey, Miller, and Trickett should probably all have been gone after last year, but they didn't. You brought them back, and now you're 2-4. But I'm not even going to stay on the coaches. We've heard enough about the coaches. And by the way, before I keep going, I don't want to fire Jimbo. I'm begging him to change. Not just the staff, but himself. And that's what this rant is really about. Jimbo, why? Game in and game out this year. Do you manage like you have no job security? Why do you manage like a little bitch? You basically have a 10-year guaranteed contract. Before this game, 2-3 on the season. Your season's fucking over. Why are you coaching so conservatively? I know that's been your MO since you've been here, but it's apparently been ratcheted up a notch. Like your sphincter is just constantly puckered now. Perfect example. Not just being conservative, but just Jimbo's just management of the game. I'm not going to talk play calling, because fuck, I don't know X's and O's well enough to even talk play calling. I'm going to talk simple fucking shit here. Simple, so every fan can understand. That's what I am. I'm just every fucking fan. I'm not some fucking football guru. But I know when I see stupidity. And I'm seeing it every fucking game. And it's not just from the likely suspects on the coaching staff. It's from Jimbo himself as well. Here we go. First drive of the game. You march right down the field. You run up Louisville's ass and score. Because by the way, if you don't know, or if you didn't know going into this game, Louisville's defense is a fucking joke. You score. 6 design runs on that drive. The next, I believe, 5 offensive drives by FSU until halftime consisted of 10 combined design runs. Boston College had like 550 yards versus Louisville last week. Boston College, not exactly a fucking offensive juggernaut. In the first half, FSU had 157 yards and 1 offensive TD. 1. Matter of fact, I think was 7.5 yards per play? And yet 7 points. We like to call that the Jimbo special. I remember my buddy I was texting. He goes, oh, look at this. Sorry, I have a cold, so I sound like shit. The offense is running with some tempo, some pace. I go, wait for it, man. I go, this is the first drive of the game. It's scripted. Wait. Sure as shit. Back to seemingly every other play. The clock's at 10 or it's under 10 seconds. How do you have 7.5 yards per play? So essentially, every other down, you have a first down. Yet, you have 7 points. Couple things. One, obviously, pace of play, which FSU's almost dead last in the country in. Not giving your players enough at bat, so to speak. And 2, situations. Red zone, 3rd down, 4th down math. And that brings me to probably my most livid point at the game. Not the Blackman fumble, which was insane, which is asinine. I think it was towards the end of the first half. Was the end of the first half? I can't remember. If it was the end of the first half or beginning of the second. I think it was the beginning. I think it was the first drive of the second half, actually. So still early in the contest. FSU comes out similar to their first drive. It's almost as if they remember, we can run on this sorry-ass defense. We don't have to get fancy. We don't have to pass as much as we run or more than we run. We can run on this sorry-ass fucking defense. And they did. They marched the ball down to about the 30-something yard line. No man's land where Jimbo shines, except the exact fucking opposite. He turns into a fucking dunce. It's 3rd and 3. What do we see? Some read option or some play action nonsense with some motion, and it's an incomplete, and it's 4th and 3. Why the fuck at 3rd and 3 in no man's land do you don't just play it as like 2-down territory? Here's what would have happened. And I'm not even talking about what plays to call, but here's what's something very fucking simple that I'm sure a lot of people were screaming at the TV. Run the ball. Here's some worst case scenarios that happens if you run the ball in 3rd and 3. You don't gain a thing. It's 4th and 3. You still go for it. This isn't a game where field goals are going to win you the game. You think Lamar Jackson's playing for fucking field goals? You think Petrino's playing for field goals? Fuck no. Hell, Jimbo, before the game, intimated that this would have to be a game in which you score a lot of points. Yet there he is. 3rd and 3, playing it as if I have to pick up the down this play, hence the pass. And if I don't, I'm kicking. So let's get back to the worst case. You don't gain a yard, it's 4th and 3. You should still go for it. Worst case scenario, you gain a yard, which is probably one of the more likely scenarios considering their defense. But let's say it's worst case, so you don't get the first. Instead, it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 1. You still fucking go for it then. And in the absolute worst case, you lose yards. Okay, at that point, if it's 4th and 6 or some shit like that, maybe I can see kicking a field goal at that point. But it shouldn't have got to that. At 3rd and 3, at that position on the field, that should be 2 downs. So you should be calling it as such. Nope. Some bullshit ass, put a guy in motion, fake the play action, throw over here, and nothing gained. And let's compound it by, okay, now let's kick a 44-yard field goal with Ricky, who, while his time at FSU, has been nothing close to automatic from 40 yards and plus. No, he misses. Surprise, fucking surprise. And Louisville, right on cue, takes the ball, marches it right down the fucking field to go up 21-14. How does Jimbo respond to that? First offensive play action. Don't have a problem with play action. What I do have a problem with, if Blackman's first read, or if he was told his first read, is to the walk-on, 40 yards downfield. Surprise, the walk-on didn't win the one-on-one matchup. Interception. Again, what is wrong with simply running? And I'm not saying run every play. Okay, but if you're going to call a play action, please tell me, why is it designed to the walk-on? I didn't look at the total numbers, but I'd love to see what the rush pass output was. Where else do I go from here? Okay, another key moment. Another Jimbo, what the fuck are you doing? Surprise, surprise. I think this happened in the first half as well, but I only remember the second half. I think it was the start of the 4th quarter. A few minutes in, guess what? Guys, the play's not getting in time. Guys aren't lined up properly. Sound familiar? And timeouts are burned. I can't remember the time. Maybe someone could comment below. But I feel like it was just a few minutes into the 4th, and FSU's down to 1 timeout. Where have I seen this story before? Jimbo trying to get the perfect fucking play in. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. Where does that bring me to next? Okay, a key moment in the game. FSU gets bailed out on a 4th and 10 in the red zone. The roughing the passer, which probably shouldn't have even been roughing the passer. It was close. Okay, but the play before, 3rd and 10. that should be 4-down territory. So you would think third down would be treated a lot like the play to get us to a manageable fourth down. No, it wasn't. Again, it seemed like when it gets to that area of the field or to that moment in the game where it should be fourth down territory, either A, Jimbo doesn't recognize it as fourth down territory, or B, he seems to call a play to which we must achieve first down on this third down or nothing at all. That's 3rd and 10. I think Blackman throws it towards the end zone. Incomplete. And bailed out on the roughing the passer. What the fuck is wrong with running like a little short pass? I don't even know what play. But some kind of short gainer to make like a 4th and 5. Because you know you're going for it on 4th, right? So why was everyone running, all the receivers running well past the marker? As if we got to get all 10 right here. Again, more mismanagement. This offense is a pathetic joke. And I get there's wide receiver injuries. Blackman's a true freshman. But whether it's this game, the Miami game, or the NC State game, Blackman's not the reason they lost those games. Did he have some turnovers? Sure. But there was moments in the game, in all those games, where management was just dicked up because Jimbo just becomes some conservative clown and is coaching like he has 2 and 3 stars in the cupboard instead of 4 and 5 star guys. Akers, once again, for long spells during this game, criminally underused. I get it. Jock Patrick has done well when he's played. He should, even having said that, he should be the compliment. Why Akers isn't the featured back, I'll never know. This was the 6th game played. Anyone with a pair of eyes will tell you Akers should be the lead back. I'm not saying he should get 80% of the carries, but he should get more than Jock at the very least. Game in and game out. I know at halftime it was split evenly. I don't know what the finals numbers were, and I'd have to look at the season totals, but it feels a lot like 6 games in, it's pretty much an even split. If not, maybe even Jock has a few more carries. That's nonsense. Akers is clearly the type of guy that should be a lead back. Patrick, while good, should be the compliment. Whether that's catching some shit out of the backfield because he has some pretty good hands, being the power guy on short yardage. Like, it's amazing to me when Akers comes in, makes a guy miss, and boom, goes through a hole that I guarantee you Jock wouldn't have been through. I don't know where else I can go on this, man. It's 2 and 4. I don't care anymore, and that's sad. Hell, I didn't care since 2 and 3. I'm still going to watch, though. But it's not even enjoyable. And it's not so much the winning and losing, which there's been a lot of losing. It's the way in which you're watching them lose. It's like me watching the Gators under Muschamp, or hell, even under Mac, where I just see clown shit constantly. Whether it's burning timeouts or taking forever to get the play in. That kind of shit. Just stuff that has you scratching your head. It's one thing to get beat. It's another thing to just look stupid. 2 and 4. This team with some better situational football, some more competent coaching. Don't get me on McFadden continuing to return punts. I could go on for days about the entire season, but I'm not. Just this one game sums up how short this staff is on having this team be elite. This team could legitimately be 5-1 if it had a competent staff. But it doesn't, and it's sad. And that's all I'm going to say for now. If you listen to my silly-ass rant, thank you. Please subscribe. I think from here on out, I have nothing to add except probably silly-ass rants. Because this season's a joke, so I might as well make fun of it. I'm out.